Hi, Teri here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this very cute card. I've used the Zany Zebras stamp set together with some of our Brights 6-inch designer series paper pack, and I've created a rainbow zebra, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. This is the Zany Zebras stamp set, and I'm using this image together with the happy birthday sentiment. I'm going to use my Stamper Artist to stamp the sentiment, and I'm just stamping this onto a scrap piece of normal weight Whisper White card. And before I start, I'm going to prep the cardstock with my embossing buddy. I'll start stamping using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Okay, I'm going to position my stamp and pick it up with the plate. Then I can ink it up and stamp it down, and then I'm going to repeat this so I get a nice dark impression. I can then clean off my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it again, and this time using Versamark ink, and I'll do this twice just to make sure I get good coverage. Then I can cover it with clear embossing powder and heat set it with my heat gun. This will then be die cut using one of the Tasteful Labels dies. I'll be using some of my Stampin' Right markers to colour the zebra, and these are from the Regals and the Brights colour collections. Now these markers contain water-based dye ink, which is the same as in our stamping pads, so they're safe to use on your stamps. The colours I'm using are Basic Black for the outline, Real Red, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Pacific Point, Rich Raspberry and Highland Heather, and those 7 make up my rainbow. Each marker has 2 different ends, a pen nib and a brush tip. Now I'm only going to use the brush tip, and normally when you use it, you use the brush tip on its side. But because of what I'm doing today, I need to get into some narrow areas, so for that I'll be using the actual tip of the brush. But when I do that, I'll be using very light pressure. So first of all, I'm going to go round all the edges of the stamp with my black marker. And you can take your time with this. The ink will dry, but that's not an issue. You'll see later on. So wherever there's an outline, I'm going to colour using the black marker. I'm also colouring his nose and mouth, his eye, and all the hooves. So here between his legs, I've just used the tip just to get in there and lay down that colour. Once the outline's complete, I can start filling in with the rainbow colours, and I'm going to use these in rainbow order, but I'm starting with Daffodil Delight. Now you need to be careful with the lighter colours because you could pick up black ink as you go. So if you do, just scribble the tip of the marker gently on some scrap paper to clean it. When you think you've finished colouring, just check the stamp carefully to make sure you haven't missed any bits. If you need to go over some of the black, then do so. And then most of this ink will have dried by now, so you need to reactivate it. And the way to do that is just to huff on it. The moist, warm air from your breath will reactivate the ink. And you want to huff on it several times to make sure that that ink is fully ready. And then when you think it is, just stamp it down on a scrap piece of Whisper White. There aren't any coordinating dies for this set, so you'll need to cut the zebra out by hand. I've die cut a stitched circle from some of the Bright's 6-inch paper stack in Granny Apple Green, and I used the Stitched Shapes circle dies for this, the largest one. I'm going to layer this onto a black scallop circle mat, and I used one of the layering circle dies to create this, again the largest one. I'm now going to go ahead and layer these two pieces together. This will be positioned onto the large piece of Designer Series paper that I have from the same pack, but it will overhang the edge, and I'm going to cut that overhang off. Now just make sure before you mark it that the wording on this piece is straight. Then I can trim off the end section and place it back onto the other piece of Designer Series paper just to double check that it's completely straight. My card base is in Granny Apple Green, and this is half a standard sheet of card scored in the middle and folded to create a portrait card. Now for inside the card, I have a basic black mat, and I'm going to layer a Whisper White mat onto that. Then I have a strip of basic black and a narrow strip of the Designer Series paper that I'm going to add to it, and then just trim off the bottom. For the front of the card, I have another basic black mat, and I have my large piece of Designer Series paper. Now I've added dimensionals onto the back of my zebra. And that's it. That's my card complete. Super cute images on this stamp set. And here's another look at my original card. This one was in Daffodil Delight. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.